Hey everybody, it's me Marquita. I am still playing The Sims. And me and Gary, we were just having this conversation on the legalization of marijuana. Now, I'll let you make your point, and me and Gary, we have similar agreements, right? Gary, similar agreements to it. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
filming you.
Okay. Well, my thoughts are, I don't think they should legalize it. I believe it is a gateway drug. Well, Marquita's saying that she thinks it comes from sugar, then to cigarettes, because that's what
Well, I will say
state
my.
representative was
I
something.
will, Gary. I'll
Anyway, the
say
state
my point.
representative was saying that was more of a gateway drug than marijuana. But everyone that I know that has smoked marijuana, it's instantly went from marijuana to a little higher drug to even more worse drug, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. Uh, so I don't think it should be, not in the state of being able to smoke it. I don't know what my thoughts are as far as putting it into creams and stuff for people who like for seizure disorder to help them and put the cream on there to help them absorb in their body. I don't know about that yet. What my feelings are on that. I don't think I think there's other things that they can use, but in my opinion, I don't think it should be legalized.
Okay. My view on it is that I don't feel like marijuana is the gateway drug. I feel like it starts with sugar, and I am only speaking for my personal experience. I am addicted to sugar. No, I have not technically been diagnosed with being addicted to sugar, but because I feel like I have a food addiction. I was talking to CG just today about this. I feel like that I have a food addiction, and I like sweets. And I feel like with a young kid, they are looking for that sugar rush. And when they no longer get the sugar rush, they then go to the next thing, like nicotine, which nicotine or cigarettes mixed with peer pressure. I feel like that's where the cigarettes come in at. Then when the nicotine no longer makes them feel good, then they go to the next best thing, which is marijuana. When the marijuana no longer makes them feel good, they go to something a little stronger. That's my view on it. Now, I am only talking from only a small percentage of this because I don't drink, because my mama and my daddy are both alcoholics, and I know that if I drink, one, I don't crave it, and if I don't crave it, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to force myself to drink. I'm not going to force myself to do something that I naturally do not want to do. And drinking, that don't sound fun to me, but that's because I'm a homebody. I am my happiest when I'm at home. So, that's why drinking never appealed to me, because I never was an outdoors person. I don't smoke cigarettes, but that's same difference. I never wanted to. Like, I'm not saying that I have never smoked a cigarette, because when my sister started smoking around 13 or 14, I took a few puffs off her cigarettes. And I never got addicted. I never was like, oh my gosh, I need this to, go on with my day. No, I didn't need it, so I didn't force my body to want it. And then I'm addicted to sugar. Like I said, self-diagnosed. I like sweet things, but I also like food. What?
I don't consider that an addiction.
Well, I do. Well, okay, I crave it.
You just really want it.
Well,
I love sugar, but if I can find another way to make it sweet, that's fine too.
Yes, but we're not talking about you. We're talking about me. I didn't say Gary is addicted to sugar. I said I am. I'm saying all this for the point of view of me, because I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for myself. Why I feel like it. And I felt like if I wanted to drink alcohol, I could. It's not that I don't do it, because it don't make me sick. I have been drunk a couple of times, but because my mama's a mean drunk, I'd set rules for my own self. If I get one swig of alcohol, I don't leave my house, because I'm not street smart. I cannot survive in jail. And so I don't want to go anywhere outside the house that I could get in trouble and go to jail. That's why if I ever drink alcohol, I make a rule for my own self. It's not a rule that's made for me. It's a rule I made for my own self to keep me safe, to make sure that I'm doing, I'm keeping me safe. And now that I got the girls, I don't want them to ever see me drunk. I don't want them to ever see me drunk. So I don't drink. But if I didn't have them, I might. I don't know. I don't know, because I don't think about what if in that sense, because I'm happy with my girls. I mean, they getting, to where they're very strong-willed. And I get on to them and I get frustrated. But in that same sense, I wouldn't trade them for all the money in the world. I would not. And because I seen my mama being drunk, and I seen my mama being violent, fighting people and just being nasty and mean because she can, I don't want them to grow up like that. That's why I don't hardly let them go around her. And if they go around her, she has to be sober. Same with my sister. Because I don't want them to ever have that memory of them. But I feel like marijuana should be legal. Only because of the because of the chronic illnesses. And maybe I'm talking from the point of view of myself. Because for 4 years, going on 4 years, July the 1st will be 4 years, that I have been in constant chronic pain. Now, if the doctor's like, here's some marijuana, here, go smoke it. No, I don't smoke. But if he gave me a gummy bear and I knew that a low dose might relieve some of my pain, I might. I don't know, because I don't have like, I don't have that option. And I'm not going to say that I wouldn't accept it. And I'm not going to say that I would accept it. Because right now, that's not my reality. My reality is I'm in pain every day, all day. And it's to the point that I have to live with it. Like, I take medicine at night. I take naproxen every night. And it's not even for the pain that I have right now. It's so that I can move in the morning. Which you know that, Gare. So what if, just hypothetically, if they said, okay, taking this chewable will relieve at least the body pain to where you're giving your liver a little relief where you're not taking naproxen. I might, but I might not. I don't know, because I consider myself a natural downer, and I have smoked weed only one time my whole life. And Margot and Angela can tell you, I cried because I was like, I don't like this feeling. They could tell you. It was New Year's of 2005. I remember it. Because I didn't like that feeling. Because I'm a natural downer. And I didn't need something to bring me even more down. So, no, I would not smoke it. But if that's what a chewable made me feel like, no, I wouldn't chew it. But I never had a medical marijuana. And I only had street marijuana one time my whole entire life. But if they said, okay, this child or this elderly person needs this marijuana because they're sick, I think that they should be able to get it because they're sick. Because I don't want because I don't do it, I don't want them to not be able to get relief if it helps them. So that's why I said I think it should be legalized. Just because I don't do it, just because right now it doesn't help me. It's not all about me. I don't live my life to please myself. I live my life to help and please everybody else. And if I knew that medical marijuana in cannabis oil or in the chewables or even smoking it, if that helped somebody that has a chronic illness that needs it, I think that they should be able to get it. But I can only think about from my body. And my body is in constant pain. And I cannot say that I would turn it down if I knew the research. If they said, okay, here is like one drop of like a very, very low dose, and that very, very low dose helped. And they said, okay, you just need one drop a day. I don't know if I would turn it down, but I don't know if I would take it. But that's all I'm saying. So, me and Gary, we agree that, right, Gary, if they need it, then they should legalize it. Is that what you're saying? Depends. Okay.
If they're chronic and they're going to be dying anyway, they might as well go under it. If it's just that they're real bad sick and there's other things that could help them, I think I ought to use that. Now let me throw this example at you.
Okay.
Okay, you don't think that it's a gateway drug?
No.
Okay. Let's say the doctors say they want to give it to Hannah for her seizures. And then you find out afterwards that, Okay, it was a gateway drug. Now she's getting a stronger and stronger medicine, and she's becoming a drug addict. And you allowed it to happen.
I am willing to do anything for her. And if that's the mistake that I have to endure, I'm willing to do it. If I think that it's going to help her, I will do the same thing for Savannah.
That's just it. It's not a drug that's going to help. It's just going to...
Well, Gary...
dull the senses.
It's
not helping.
Okay, and you see how sometimes, like when she's having that pass out seizure, maybe that's why she's hurting. I don't know. It might not be. It might have nothing to do with nothing. If they told me that it was a chance that it would help Hannah, or if it was a chance that it would help Savannah, or even if it was a chance that it would help you, and it was my decision, unless you tell me not to, I will say yes, even for you. If they're like, it could help him because he's having so many asthma attacks and his bronchial tubes needs to be relaxed, and him taking this cannabis oil or this chewable or whatever will help relax his bronchial tubes to where he can breathe, I will say yes, no hesitations. Yes, please give it to him. Because at least if it only works for 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes that you're not having an asthma attack. That's 5 minutes that you're not struggling to breathe. So unless you tell me no under any circumstances, I'm going to say yeah if you leave the option up to me. I'm just letting you know this, and since it don't have to be in a emergency setting, I'm letting you know, unless you tell me that you don't want me to say yes. I'm going to say yes if I feel like it's going to help. But I would say yes for anybody. But that's like let's bring up that thing when I told you. Because this is, remember, and I told you, if you ever made a decision for me against my will on because we have had this conversation when I said, if I'm ever pregnant and they said that they have to deliver the baby, but it might kill the baby in order to save me, what did I tell you? What did I tell you that my answer was?
Save the baby, not you.
To save the baby and not me, because if you save me and I find out in some weird way, I don't know how I will find out, but if I find out that you chose my life over my child's life, I will never forgive you. I would never forgive you, because I am 35 years old as of today. No, today's not my birthday, but I'm just saying, as of today's date, I am 35 years old, sound in mind. That could be questionable, but let's say sound in mind. And I'm saying, no, under any circumstances, do you pick my life over my child's life? I don't care if they say the child got 1% of living. I want you to let me and the child either die, but I want the child basically dying, getting the chance of life. But if I find out that wasn't even an option, that automatically I got picked, even from the doctors, I will not rest. I will never rest And I will be like freaking Carrie off of Carrie, the movie. I would develop telekinesis powers, and I will kill everybody that was in that decision, because I already lived 35 years. And if I have kids and this ever happen in the future, I live how many ever years? The child did not have a chance. And I know you said, but what about Hannah and Savannah? I think that they will understand if their sibling is saved. I don't think that they would want their sibling to die just to save me, because I might only have one pregnancy in me. So even saving me is not guaranteed another pregnancy, because it is 35 years, going on 36 years of me not being pregnant. I've never ever in my life been pregnant, and I may never get pregnant. But I will do everything in my power that I can to give a child, biologically or not, a chance. And that's like if I adopt and they say, oh my gosh, like on iRobot, when the robot picked Will Smith over that girl, I would have had to disassemble that robot right there on the spot. Because no, you're not saving me over that child. I'll find a way to make it self-destruct itself. Because that's not even an option. If it's me and a child, the option is never me. The option is always the child. Every single time. But that's how I think. So what do you want? Like, if you're ever in a situation, video evidence, if they said giving you medicine will help your lungs, do you want me to tell them yes, or do you want me to tell them no?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because even the medicine I get now, I am reluctant to take.
I know. But I'm saying, if you're having an asthma attack and you are not able to make the decision at that time, if they say we need to know something in 2 seconds,
if they guarantee it's going to help,
well, they can't guarantee. Okay, fine. I would. Well, Gary, I just need a yes or no answer. I want it to be, I want it to be on camera, because you know how your family is. You know how they are. I'm telling you on camera. I'm letting you know 100%. I won't, if it's to help Hannah and Savannah, 100%. If it's to help another child, 100%. If it's my life or my baby's life, automatically the baby's life. If we're in a car wreck and they have to save me or the baby, like me or a child, automatically the child. I'm just letting you know. So if I can't speak for myself, you can speak for me. If you're in that situation, I'm telling you this. Like, I have no hesitations. I have no hesitations. Well, I'm just saying, like you, because you're the one that's saying that if you was having an asthma attack, and it was a need for you to have the medical marijuana. I'm trying to see if you say yes or if you say no, I have to respect your wishes. But I don't know what your wishes are.
If they're saying it's a need, and they know it's going to work.
Well, it might not work. It might just be something that will relax you. That's what I'm saying. They might be like, this might relax him. And at that point, it would be a need to help relax you. I'm not saying that would be.
It's still hard.
Fine. I will tell them no, and then if you die, don't come and haunt me. No, Gary, because
if it's legalized, if they legalize it, then yes. But it's still not something I necessarily. As far as the smoking wise, I don't think they should, because that's just, no matter what the smoke's going to lead to cancer.
Well, Gary, not all of it is smokable. There is cannabis oil. There are chewable, but they never said on that interview. They never said smoking weed.
The thing is, if they legalize marijuana, they're legalizing the smoking and everything.
Yes, I think it should be up to a individual base. Because a child.
It should be based on a medical thing.
That's what I said, medical.
No, okay, I'm saying they know smoke will lead to cancer, and it will cause damage. So that smoking part should be legalized.
Throwing the question back at you. Because you said if they're going to die anyways. Okay, if they're going to die anyways before that they get cancer, why not let them smoke it? They don't have to smoke it around you. It might be some new. I don't know. I'm saying.
Smoking part should never be legalized, because it affects not only that person, but anybody around them. Because it gets in the air, and other people are affected. It's like secondhand smoke. See it.
Okay. Well, I hope that I will never.
Oils and stuff like that. Yes.
Gary, what part of me saying cannabis oils and chewables?
Yes, that part, okay. I can see that. Yeah.
But you're saying period.
No, I'm saying if they're going to make it into law, then they need to.
No.
It's legalized for the medicinal purposes of pills and oils and stuff, but not for smoking.
Okay, Gary, but the whole conversation was had for the legalization of marijuana. That's what it was. There was no emphasis when we said it. It wasn't like for the legalize of smokable marijuana. That wasn't part of it. It wasn't specific. You could have said and freaking saved an hour conversation of, I think that this did da. But you were saying, and this is what you said. This is your words was, no, it should not be legalized because it's a gateway drug. That's what you said. And I agreed with you to an extent. I was just saying I think sugar leads to nicotine, leads to marijuana. So it's not only marijuana. It's not like the drug starts with marijuana. You have to go back. And that's what I'm saying is marijuana is the bad kid. But if everybody in the class is talking, you can't say this one person is bad. If everybody's doing it. And now this person might not be talking as much as this person. And this person might be talking more than this person. But everybody's talking. And that's what I'm saying. Sugar. They like sugar highs.
But I still don't see that little argument because
I do because
you're addicted to sugar.
yeah.
Did you start smoking the second you went on your diet and quit doing sugar?
No,
No, you
because
didn't.
I didn't want to. I'm
But I'm
telling you,
saying,
I have a lot of willpower. Not everybody has willpower, and I have friends that did not try to peer pressure
But
me.
if it's true,
I loved my
if sugar was
friends.
truly that addictive that it's going to lead to that, when you went off of it, you would automatically go to tobacco, and you didn't do it because it's not addictive in that way.
Because I wasn't looking for anything to supplement my habit. My addiction first and I guess will always be food. I can't quit food. I would die.
You die without food.
So that's what I'm saying. I cannot. That's what I said from the beginning. That's what I was trying to explain. Talk for myself. This is why I said I'm only talking for me. I'm not talking for everybody else. That's what I said. For myself. I can only speak for me. That I'm addicted to sugar. That I like food. That my drug of choice is food. And it's something that I cannot quit.
You're not addicted to sugar because you use the artificial sweeteners. You're addicted to sweet. You're not addicted to sugar.
I feel like I'm addicted to sugar.
But you're not because you don't use hardly any sugar in nothing.
I use sugar.
Not much.
I use creamer in my coffee.
Creamer's not sugar.
My creamer is sweet. It's hazelnut.
Dehydrated cream.
It's sweet. It's hazelnut. It's sweet.
No added sugar.
That's why I only.
That's natural sugars.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
And that is naturally. If it's sweet, it's a natural sweet.
Like I was saying, Gary, I can only speak for myself. And no, I'm addicted to food. And I can't just quit my addiction. Because if I quit my addiction, I will die. Because a body needs food. Yeah. Now, the type of food is different. And I did change it in my body. And you know, Roxanne, I had to go back on real sugar because my sugar kept bottoming out on the equals. I now use my creamer for my tea because I'm a proper Englishman. I will say that once again. I am a proper Englishman. So I put creamer in my hot tea. And then I don't use as much equal, but my creamer is sweet. So that's why I don't need to put real sugar. I could use the equal because my creamer has sugar in it. Like if I didn't use any sugar and I used all natural sugar, then I wouldn't even use no equal with the creamer. I would just use creamer or I would just drink it black. But I'm a proper Englishman and proper Englishmen put milk in their tea. That's what I'm saying. That's why I started off the whole conversation that I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. And for myself, because my mama and my daddy are alcoholics, I don't want to be an alcoholic. So I don't drink. I never wanted to smoke. That never seemed fun to me. I did it, them couple puffs when I was, little because my sister was doing it. I looked up to her. I started dating white guys because of her. I have always wanted to do everything like her. So, she did it, and I was like, I don't even want to do this. I only took a few puffs because she was smoking. She started dating guys. she dated white guys. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna date white guys. Then I learned seriously about sickle cell trait. And I said, oh, I have sickle cell trait. I can't have no kids with a guy that has sickle cell trait. So I can't date black guys. You seen I was surprised when I had my double brain surgery when I found out that not only black people have sickle cell trait disease or disorder or anemia. Like it comes in Mediterranean and why don't I ever keep my research? Because I never could think of because I know it's Africa and I think it's Malaysia. I'm gonna say Africa, Malaysia, and it's the third place. But they're all water bordering countries. Is where sickle cell anemia trait and disorder is common. And that's what they said it comes from. That blew my socks right off my feet because I didn't know that. I only knew of sickle cell trait, disease, and disorder first of all, I didn't know nothing about the disorder until I read about where it all came from. But I only knew that it was a black disease because most people that I heard that had it were black. I've never heard of any other culture have it. And so I was like, I can't have a baby by a black guy because if he don't know his history and I don't know every single bit of my history, I don't want to bring a sick child into this world. And then it blew my head right off my shoulders when I found out that I still could have, not disease, was affected. Yeah, I could have still had a child with it, with the full disease, if they have the trait or if it's in their family. And I felt bad because I was like, I did, like, that was my reasoning for not wanting to have a full black child, was because I didn't want my child to be born sick. Because I know how it feels. I have sickle cell episodes and crises, and I'm not supposed to with the trait, but I do. And you know I do. And so if I feel horrible, I don't want to bring a kid for my kid to feel horrible. And it's not a guarantee that I won't pass it down to my child because my daddy passed it down to me. Yeah, even though he says he don't have it. Either he's not my daddy or he got it. And he just don't want to admit it. It's not a bad thing. It's nothing that it's nothing that anybody did to get it. It's just the way that your blood cells are. And that's why I wanted.
Your mama hasn't done no.
Well, no, she don't have it because they tested her. When they tested they immediately tested her because they was like, oh, your baby has sickle cell trait. And then, because my mama knew, she said she knew of one of my daddy's cousins that had the full disease. I don't know because I never heard the story, but I will tell you what she told me. And I was like, okay. But I don't know. And then that's when he was like, oh yeah, I have it. This is the story that I was told. And I asked him, and he says he don't know. I asked him. Because I wanted to get CODA tested.
Yep, you still do.
I still want to get CODA tested. Because if I have it, and I got it from him, then Coda might have it and got it from him, and it would make sense why Coda, some of the medicines don't agree with him, because he can't absorb, his body won't absorb it. So, I mean, that's like, he's my little brother, and I love him to death, and I love all three of the boys, but, he's my blood. And I don't know anything about, Jordan and Dalton's daddies, but I can only guess about me and Coda's. And since it's just me and him, I don't have any other siblings to test besides my sister, and we don't have the same daddy. But they tested my mom as soon as they seen that I had it. And that's what they said. They immediately tested her. And it said, they said she didn't have it. Because if she would have had it, then I would have the full disease. And probably be dead by now. Because you know Stella. You know her. She wouldn't have took me to the doctor. Or she might have took me to the doctor, but...
She wouldn't pay for nothing.
Yeah. And you know how she always tries to make me feel like I'm sick right now. And I'm like, I'm not sick. I'm alright. No, you sound sick. No, I don't.
She didn't make you an alcoholic by trying to use alcohol to cure anything that made you sick.
Well, no, she wouldn't do that because I was naturally always sick. I remember always being sick. I do. I remember every other weekend waking up with a earache. Always having a sore throat. Not being able to breathe out my nose until I was in 3rd grade. Technically, I guess 2nd grade. Because my tonsils and adenoids were so big that I could not breathe out of my nose. I remember that. So I either had an earache or a sore throat. Constantly. Year around. I remember that. I told you when it got to the point that I just went to I used to go to the hospital, and they okay, your medicine's at the pharmacy. They gave me my coloring book and my little stuffed animal, which was kangaroo. That's what UT was when I was little. And I remember having like tons and tons and tons of coloring books and crayons and, little kangaroo stuffed animals. Maybe that's why I don't like stuffed animals. Because I don't like stuffed animals. I like Gloomy Gus because that's my Gussio boy. But, like, he's the extent of my stuffed animals. He's my Gussio boy. But other than that, I don't like stuffed animals. But that's all I'm saying, Gary. If you don't want me to, I won't. It's not an argument. It's not. I respect your wishes. Whatever you want your wishes to be. I don't think that we will ever be in that situation. But I just want to make sure that it is known. Because you know how your family are. Well, I'm saying to you that if that's what they said, that would help you breathe. Just even if it just relaxed you enough for like a few minutes, that's what I will pick.
I would be willing to try.
But I don't want you to. my thing is, I don't want you to look at it as a negative thing, because that's not what you believe in. Because I'm not saying that you, Gary, should do it. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't think you should thump your nose at if somebody else is willing to try. Just because that's not your cup of tea does not mean that it might not help somebody else, or that does not mean that somebody else is not willing to try, because I know that that's not your cup of tea. I don't smoke, and if they told me that I had to give it to Hannah or Savannah or even myself, I don't smoke. They don't smoke. The only other thing that I know that they have is a cannabis oil, and I think they drop it up under your tongue, or chewable, which I don't know. I'm basing everything off of what I see on TV or YouTube. So I don't know everything either. But I'm not thumping my nose up at it just because it doesn't affect me. Because maybe in 10 years, maybe next year, maybe next week, maybe tomorrow, it might affect me. And then here I am thumping my nose up at something that now I gotta sit there, and even though nobody knows, I gotta sit there, eat humble pie, and take the thing. That's why I don't judge anybody. I don't judge anybody. Everybody, I feel, and this is me personally, I feel like everybody's in charge of their own life. And if they feel like that doing drugs, them being happy on drugs, is more important than to be a parent, or more important to have a healthy pregnancy, yes, it pisses me off and it makes me mad, but I cannot tell that person. I can fuss about it, and I can rant and rave, but I can't go and physically pull that person's blood out of their body and make their addiction go away and make them do right by their unborn child. Even though everything in me would want to, I can't make that decision for them. All I can do is be mad, rant and rave, but at the end of the day, it is up to them. They have to make the decision. That's all I'm saying. They have to make the decision. But I guess that was a long conversation, and I'm willing to have all the conversations. I am. I just wanted your view on it. I knew what it was basically, but I don't know. I just wanted to know.